Thanks for staying with us on this edition of Vision. Cedric Varner. Mr. Cannon is staying with us. Mr. Orlando Cannon is staying with us on this segment. He's helping us to introduce our next guest on the program, Mr. Doug Moore, who is the consultant to the City of Montgomery for the Small and Minority Business Initiative. We want to say welcome to you, Mr. Moore, for being with us on the program.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very excited. We've just been having a great time talking with Mr. Cannon, and so we want to talk to you both. Both of you all were featured in this story that was published by the Chamber Magazine. Of course, we've been knowing both of you for a while, and we've come to several of the events that the City of Montgomery has been hosting at City Hall. And so we want to just transition from Mr. Cannon, where we were talking about the goal of the city and the to award 30% of the contracts to small and minority business. Now you're working, Mr. Moore, you're working on that program with Judge Price and Mayor Strange, and what has been the success of the program so far?
Well, I think I like to say our success has been is that starting out as changing the culture of this city to be able to talk to individuals in the private sector for the buy-in on this program. Mm-hmm. We know that the private sector is more, the city, there's not a lot of work with the city. The city of Montgomery self-perform a lot of its work. So we realized that we had to go to the private sector and build more relationships. So we started building relationships, and we had a series of meet and greets where we're bringing small business in with large business and start the relationship, start the conversation. So I think that's been very, very, very successful.
Good. Now, Mr. Cannon, is this an example of the partnership that Mr. Moore is talking about that facilitated your relationship with Foshi Design and Construction?
Oh yes, this is one of them.
Okay.
This is one of them.
Okay. All right. Real good.
Right. Yeah. This is one of them.
That's been successful.
That's going in the right direction.
Yeah.
We got a long way to go, but
got started.
We got started.
Yeah. Yeah. Real good.
Got started.
Real good. Well, Mr. Moore, now, of course, I've seen you, and actually, we've got a photo we're going to pull up now of one of the sessions where we were there with you and the mayor and Judge Price, who are helping to initiate the program. We got that picture on the screen now. And so, what was happening at this particular meeting when this picture was taken, Mr. Moore?
Well, the mayor had a letter
Yeah.
that was sent out to maybe 30 major firms in this city and inviting them for the buy-in of this program. So this was the initial buy-in for it, calling on the business people to buy into the idea, to buy into the concept of the small business. So this is the program we had downtown, and also we awarded Canon. We had 3 other companies that was mentioned downtown. The city project on Madison Avenue. That project, I think we received about 25% gold on that particular project. So that was mentioned at that time, and to kick it off. And we also had a reception at the at Renaissance Bank, which we'll be having to meet with them next week, realizing that Mr. Cannon here, business is coming in,
right,
but now we got to be able to finance those invoices. We got
right,
to pay that staff and those employees.
Right.
So we got to have a banking relationship. And so now we're beginning to develop a banking relationship, starting with the banks to develop a relationship so we can be able to have individuals with banking relationship with their invoices. Not only that, is that even with small loans, and that's the struggle and the challenge that most small firms, not only minority firms, but most small firms face the challenge of money, they face the challenge of funding. So, and we say, without a banker, how can this happen? Right. So that process will start at the same time. So it's a twofold process, relationship with major companies in this city, and also relationship with the banking industry. So that's what we're working on at this point.
Good. Now, as far as the relationships and the different types of businesses who can be a part of this program, I know you've got a lot of construction-oriented businesses. Are there other industries that are also a part of the initiative?
No question about it. There's a lot of IT companies involved in this. We say construction, the service industry, with Mr. Cannon, the cleanup industry and the service industry. So we started with that. We hoped that it'd grow. We had to start at some point and realize the service industry touched a lot of individuals. And we hope that this would not only just help small and minority business, but put some of our young people back to work.
That's good.
Create jobs. And you know, when you create jobs in this city, you end up they're paying taxes.
Yeah.
And they normally spend the money in this city. The money stays in this city. So we want to keep those dollars here. So that's what we're working on.
Well, and, you know, and as we've talked, you told me that you thought that Judge Price and the mayor seem to have a good feeling about the results of the program so far.
Yeah, no question about it. We have had, it's been great response to what we are doing. And the people are working. They're not doing things like this past weekend here in this city. You read the headline, you say, what, 7?
Incidents?
They're working 8 hours, I say 10 hours a day.
Right.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's not doing those kinds of things.
That helps to cut down on that, right?
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been great.
That's good. Well, you know, one of the other things that you talked to me about as it relates to construction, Mr. Moore, is the area of bonding and how important bonding is.
Bonding is important, especially when it comes to construction. And we, as I said to you earlier, we got to start with a banking relationship. Most people have a bank, but having a banker. And with that banking relationship, we got to have bonding come in. And we got to start with something that what we hope to do now is take some of the large firms that they would mentor or have a relationship, just a relationship building process with a small firm. That way, it increase their growth, and they'll be able to eventually their bonding capacity and that kind of thing. So that's what we're working on now.
Good.
You know, more of a mentoring relationship, more of a hand-up relationship.
Good.
What we're asking to do.
Good.
We're not really talking about moving the seats from the table, just expanding the table and making it, you know.
Well, Mr. Cannon, one of the things that we wanted to follow up with what Mr. Bohr said about the banking relationship. Of course, if you got 25 employees, you got to have a banking relationship. How important is that relationship to maintain your business?
Every Friday. Every Friday. Every Friday. You know what I mean?
Friday come around every Friday.
Yeah, every Friday. That's
next Friday.
Next Friday. And this Friday. Friday after next. So, you know, every Friday.
Okay.
So you need some income. You need some money. Again, it's all predicated to how you think. You know, that's more key than anything. Relationship with the bank, you definitely need, you know, be able to get a little line of credit to operate.
Right.
Because everything you're going to do is going to be, at least with us, net 30 days, might be net 40 days, might be net 60 days. Depends on how it's set up. You sometimes give invoices on the 25th, you don't get paid to the next 25th.
Right.
So you got 30 days and then you continue with the do work.
Right.
So you got to invoice back here and you regular working, so you regular add payroll every week. So you definitely need a banker. And you need a banker, I would say, years ago I used to bank with Union Bank. And I had a good relationship, and a lot of people probably don't even remember Union Bank, but I used to could go in and get $5,000 or $10,000, you know, on a signature. Banks done changed, so it's all predicated to fees and all that, those type things. You go in to cash a check now, if it ain't on that bank and you don't have an account with them, it costs you $7 or $8 or 10. So everything is worked on fees, and the banking industry has changed. It used to be a time I could come in and sit in with a guy, and he's the manager, and he can make the decision right now. He didn't have to pick up the phone, call Birmingham, talk to a board, whatever. You need that kind of relationship. Not no major money, I wouldn't say. I assume it's major to whoever needs it, but not major money. I assume anywhere up to $25,000. If you got a relationship with a banker, that you could probably get that kind of money, some type line of credit, I assume, versus your accounts receivable.
That's good.
You know, you don't mind pledging it up if you plan on paying them back.
That's right.
So So I would say definitely.
Yeah.
You want a relationship with a banker where you got a relationship where you can get some money. And I'm used to the old school, and I say old school, I want a small bank. I don't care for a big old bank.
Yeah.
I want a bank where I can sit in the thing, and it used to be the 5 C's in banking.
Yeah.
What was that? Credit, cash, credibility, and something else.
Collateral,
And
yeah.
something. Yeah, collateral.
But now, Mr. Moore, he had us at a big bank, so he gonna say no, don't talk about. Ms. Moore gonna say don't talk about my big bank because you prefer a small bank. But I know what you're saying. Okay, but let me transition, and I'll let you clear that. I'm gonna let you straighten that out. Okay, let me transition to Mr. Moore on this point about the future of this program, the Small and Minority Business Initiative.
Well, our goals in the future, we hope that we'll be able to start a mentoring program,
Okay.
as I said to you earlier, where we build relationships in the private sector with small and minority business. I think that's the future of it. I think that it's a process or growing commerce in the black community, encouraging them to a small business builds pride, it builds self-respect in one. Not only that individual, but the whole family. The young man on the block in the morning time, the young man who's going to school, have an opportunity to see somebody with a sign on his truck, a name, and he can become independent. You know, it builds respect for him. And so we hope that you strengthen the small business community here in the city. Because those, like I said earlier, those dollars stay in this city. Yeah. They stay here. So we hope that the future is bright for us right now. We see a bright future with the development going on downtown. It'll probably be, we understand, some major companies 5-6 years with development going on downtown. So that'd be a lot of work. What we finding now is a shortage of is the skill set. A shortage of the skill set of the skilled worker. That is not there. So we hope for the future that we take some of our young men, we build, young ladies too, that we build a skill set.
Yeah.
You know, and we bring skill sets back to and the new school they're starting here in the city that will help.
All right, well, gentlemen, we got to go, but Mr. Cannon, we're going to let you say that you also believe in big banks too, right? But you prefer a small bank. Okay.
I prefer a small bank.
Okay. All right, very good.
I believe in banks generally.
Okay, good.
And we need the bigger banks to come in.
Gentlemen, we got to go. Thanks for being with us on the program. That's going to do it for us on this edition of Visions. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.